Today I'm with you again from Mars Clinic International. And today I want to tell you how I got my first job after graduating from the university. But I will not be able to cover all the principles involved here. So this is part one of this video. Please, when you are through, if this video helps you, please look for part two of this presentation. Okay? Now, because the pathway I follow to getting my first job after graduating, anybody can follow it to get his or her own job. Because I follow principles. I didn't know then they were principles, but now I know they are principles of life. They don't fail. They are timeless principles. Now, so if you're an undergraduate listening to me, or you are an applicant listening to me, or you're a corper, you are just someone looking for a job, if you follow the principle I followed, you will also get your own job, a good one. Okay? Now, listen to my story. I was in my final year in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, studying mathematics education. One day, I got annoyed with myself and I asked myself a question of life. When I graduate, what shall I do? Because I know most people read mathematics, either they work in the bank or they work as teachers in the secondary school. But I didn't want any of those jobs. So I said, what will I do when I graduate from the university? Now, of course, you know, most universities don't teach you what you will do after graduation. So, principle number one, ask yourself positive questions of life. If you want to succeed in anything you want to know, ask yourself positive questions of life. Don't ask only yourself. You can ask yourself. You can ask man. When I say man, I mean any person, man or woman, that is wiser or more mature than you, who has passed through the road you want to pass through. For instance, if you are looking for a job and you are listening to me, I have passed through that road. So you are listening to me today and you can follow the principle I follow and you will get your own job too. So ask yourself, ask anybody wiser than you who has experience, who have passed through the road, then ask God, then ask books. Do you understand? Okay? So principle number two, don't forget, when you ask positive questions about life, wait for the answer. Do you understand? Wait for what? Wait for the answer. Many people don't wait for answers when they ask questions. Some don't even write the answer down while the answers are being told to them. No, wait for the answer. Take your pen, write the answers down into your jotter. Okay? So that day when I asked myself that question, what will I do when I graduate from the university? Immediately, an answer came from nowhere into my mind. It says, run a mathematics consulting firm. I was dazed. I was surprised. Run a mathematics consulting firm? Now, immediately, another question came into my mind. How? Where? That leads me to principle number three. You see, when you are searching in life, when you are looking for an answer to a particular question, a solution to a particular problem, and you ask yourself positive questions, and you wait for the answer. Now, number three, listen, that answer will lead you to more questions and more answers. Principle number three, don't forget, okay? Principle number three, when you ask positive questions, you wait for the answer, then it will lead you to more questions and more answers. Okay? So, when that answer, run a mathematics consulting firm, led me to asking where, how. Immediately, well, my mind told me Lagos. Because Lagos was the most powerful city, or is still the most powerful city. I don't know what you think about that, but I think so. A business center, a commercial center of Nigeria. So I felt other cities may not understand a mathematics consulting firm, so I was going to go to Lagos. Where we go to, I don't know. How I will do it, I don't know. So the biggest question was actually, how will I do it? Now, that how led me to searching, to researching. So it led me to studying books. And one of the books that was around me then was Robert Schuller's book on Tough Times Never Last, but Tough People Do. I don't know if you have read that book. If you have read that book, the book did not talk about mathematics. It did not talk about a consulting firm. But Robert Schuller shared so many stories inside that book. Tough times never last, but tough people do. Okay? So, these many stories Robert Schuller shared in that place, they woke my mind up. And I knew what I was going to do when I graduate. Now, although I didn't have the total picture then, I knew this is what I will do when I graduate. So I got up, I jumped up to my feet, I went to the bathing room, I took my bath and I went to classes. To mathematics department in Nsukka, it is nicknamed Abuja. So I went there. Then I began to announce to each of my classmates that came across me that very day what I will do when I graduate. I was telling them I will run a mathematics consulting firm. They were all surprised. They were saying, how? They wonder how it came about that, since lecturers don't teach things like that. Yes, because I've gotten what I felt I will do. So principle number 4, don't forget, you see, confess. Confess what you believe. Confess what you know you are going to do. Confession leads to possession. So I was, right from that day, I was always happy. And I knew what I was going to do when I graduate. I was going to run a mathematics consulting firm. And since I read Robert Schuller in my room 205 Okeke Hall of Residence in UNN, studying the book, and I got to know how to run a mathematics consulting firm from a book that never talked about mathematics nor a consulting firm, then I was so confident. Now, in part 2 of this program, I'm going to share with you how I later got my first job and how I started running a mathematics consulting firm. Okay, I want you to quickly look for that video, how I got my first job after graduating from the university, part 2. This is part 1. I'm stopping here today. Okay, thank you.